A LARP tuber gets exposed. Everyone is jumping ship. They have to place their bets in the roulette wheel of, like, whoever's winning and losing history. Like, someone's gonna get all the views here, guys. The collateral damage is turned on right now. And the big question, is it okay to LARP a dead YouTuber? Or is it more like a tribute band? Look at that. That was said by TechnoDad himself, who is technically the deciding factor. Alright? Not Penguin Zero. That guy decides fucking nothing besides how much attention is driven to the drama. Actually, hands down, he's getting roasted across this video, basically for not doing enough research and painting the situation, like, way out of control, even though, I don't know. Think about it this way. I am LARPing a cancelled YouTuber. One word. We changed what kind of YouTuber. And the vibe changes. What do we do now? How do we treat a person who chose to LARP as someone who already got cancelled? The idea is we kind of celebrate it of like, well, you clearly are not the YouTuber, so it'll be fine. I don't really think you can add a word that would change the vibe to the point where we only get pitchforks and we have to riot. He's benefiting from the dead creator. What do we do about it? Decide. Vote. I think that's a pretty good deal. If fans even have a say in this in the first place. But, as I've said, TechnoDad has. That's what we're waiting for. The family members are active. They can decide to give a green light or not. They can act in behalf of the YouTuber as if nothing has really changed. As if we're just LARPing a YouTuber. That's it. Oh, there's one more words? Oh.
You lecture me with your $30 haircut?
Hello, Internet. Do you have a feeling that someone is LARPing a LARPer of a LARPer of a LARPer of a LARPer? Techno LARP? When does this end? Internet was never better than the lol cow up to this point, so I don't expect anything interesting to happen. And if we have to sacrifice Techno LARP to keep LARPing going, who cares? Alright, you can have that one. Come up with the new drama now, buddy. But of course, while we can, we'll defend. We'll take the heat. I'll take the heat. I'll try to, like, distract people. But there are people in front lines that have to deal with this. Alright? It's their roleplay, not mine. Probably the most spiciest take.
Content, and more so now that he's actively trying to be a replacement here in the community for Technoblade.
That's one thing that he got wrong.
I've never done that.
He mentioned it multiple times.
Well, the idea is that it is true. You are trying to be a replacement. But it's a good thing. Because Technoblade's dead. It would be a bad thing if I was trying to be a replacement to someone who's not dead. And succeeding at it. That would be pretty dramatic. Here's why it's good. We have established a concept. Technoblade is also a concept. 20 million subscribers is now a treasure. And TechnoDad should decide to give it away to someone special, you know? And it's on individual basis. He just has to really like the LARPer. You can adopt a new son. Crazy real-life concept, but, you know, it's actually not crazy. Everyone can use money, everyone can use a better life, and we're worshipping dead people? Yeah. Let's live backwards and upside down, just in case. If I had a button to switch from where people worship my dead body or when I get to live and people worship me there, I probably choose that other one, right? Where I'm alive and I actually gain people's attention. Thank you very much. You can give it to me right now. I happen to be alive. I really don't care what happens when I die. Alright? Because it creates this vibe of actual savagery, cannibalism, and all the nasty shit that people create respecting dead people. We can respect. Someone can actually hold the legacy. Or the legacy is given to the Technoblade's children, for example. But he didn't have any. Alright? It kind of changes the plot a little bit. Because we had the plot of like Michael Jackson, but Michael Jackson had children. You know who didn't have children? Well, I'll save it for later. I have a kicker to end the whole thing. Basically, the nail in the coffin. The funny thing is, even if you do get in trouble and you don't get the approval from the original YouTuber, you were still likely doing Method 1 role-playing, and you can still switch to Method 2, which is switching your personality. Of course, if you're just a little baby and you don't have a personality, womp womp, okay? If Technoblade cannot, or TechnoLarp cannot turn into a cooking channel or something, then sucks to you. But you should be able to personalize your content and start criticizing the original. This is the interesting part. When you criticize, you're still legally allowed to do what you're doing. So Method 1, you're waiting for the original creator's approval, but you might not get it. Then you run to Method 2. You can still run to Method 3, which is technically running away from haters, from the hate mob, and trying to find something that the hate mob would appreciate, something that they do want you to do, and you can agree on doing that thing. I think that's what Method 3 is. You just ask of like, okay guys, you're upset about me, what do I do? How do I apologize? How do I switch to a different style of content that you would appreciate? What is it that you want? That's how I imagine it. I'm not sure, because Method 3 is still just a unicorn. Although I'm very down for the idea to replace some YouTubers, just like how we replace presidents. We vote. Petition to replace Penguin Zero.
It's like he's not here to replace Technoblade. He's just LARPing as Technoblade.
Even if I wanted
even if you wanted to, he can't. That's not possible. He's just LARPing.
Everything is possible.
The same way everyone's LARPing. Okay? The same way Larpers is LARPing. Markiplier?
Like, you're not replacing more.
Yeah, I'm not replacing Most Critical, bro.
Him.
Yeah. Do you guys think anyone would like stop watching Most Critical to watch me?
But that's the problem, if you think about it. To be on a throne, to be a YouTuber, that's some crazy money. That's some crazy passive income. And you also get attention on top. That is some real benefits to think about. But then you have to also think about comparing. What if I am just as good of a human as Penguin Zero? Human. Yes, we might not have the same amount of subscribers, but on a human scale, on a human level, we are equal. What are you going to do then? How are you going to react? I should be able, by default, replace Moist Critical at least for a couple of days, even if our views or content differs. Should be able to, as a kind gesture, would be nice, right? We're equal. What's the harm in it? That's the problem. I feel like just the kindness element is missing in this one. That people expect everyone to be original and succeed as a result. I'm not a replacement. I'm an obvious knockoff to entertain people. I could never be him. But you're still trying to be Technoblade. What's going on? Can't you just be yourself? And that would actually undermine the entire idea of a LARPing community. I'm telling you guys, this is the first community. The first community that is inspired to make YouTube videos, because we know the only way we can get away with getting attention in the first place is if we're sort of thieving around. Is if we're all just kind of pretending to be someone who we're not. But conceptually, it's a very intriguing idea. So that's how it was born. The very first community on YouTube. You guys don't understand what that means. It's a lot easier to make YouTube videos when you have a community of people around you, when you can make friends and see who succeeds and who fails. So technically, it was frowned upon to try and mimic other creators until now. Until there was no other choice. Because big YouTubers have not created their own communities. They had a chance. There's this ultimate golden goose of just making your own community and supplying them with attention and subscribers and everything. We had to do it ourselves, and we do have to follow the rules of what works. If something else will work, if there's going to be more communities, if you will have anything to choose from as a content creator, then yeah, you can criticize this guy for trying to be Technoblade. Because he has so many options. Right now, we don't have options, guys. It's almost like we all, the bus arrives and we just have to take a seat and drive forward. That's it. There's only one bus. If we miss that bus, the opportunity goes away altogether. We have to take that risk, basically. Whatever happens, happens. If we have to throw someone overboard, so be it. It's just for the sake of the game, as far as we can possibly get, right? We expect failure. The first community is supposed to shatter into tiny Lego pieces. But I do love that we are also threatening and sort of semi-roasting Penguin to some extent. I happen to call him Penguin because my brain can't handle anything more complicated than that. I can't wait to use this clip at some point.
Fair warning, I'm about to start screaming and spitting. This is probably the most emotion you will ever see from me. I'm about to get animated like a Pixar character, red in the face with steam coming out of my ears, because I am infuriated.
By the way, the Discord is shut down for some reason. We're only able to react. So sad. Don't worry, you can LARP as me in the end of the day, Penguin.
Fair to just write it off saying, nope, this is all good because I'm sure that he would be giggling at it too.
Nobody knows.
Even this argument is fascinating because the odds are in Larper's favor for now. Most YouTubers simply ignore the facts, and that's it. Technically, TechnoDad decides, right? But I have a better idea.
I don't believe that any of the wealth or the things that get made from it is mine. And so when I die, I've set it up. My will is set up that when I pass, my family, no one's going to get a penny. If I have a wife or kids or anything, not getting a fucking penny. I'll get my kids through college. That's the agreement, but they're not going to be a silver spoon. They're taken care of because my dad worked on some stuff in the 2000s. You know, like the idea is when I die, all the money's going to go back to artists. So I've set up a foundation. It's called Dr. Oliver Tree's Art Grants for Baby Geniuses. And it's set up.
That should be inspiring. That should be the default way of thinking. If you became successful and you should want other people to become successful, and you should just greenlight the thing as a whole. Treat it as a foundation, well, someone deserves to get those 20 million subscribers that Technoblade has. They're just being unused right now. That's what bothers me the most. People profiting and living a better life as a result, avoiding poverty, sounds great to me. More opportunities, more jobs. That's what we should be striving for. People have to move on from the dead and focus on the living. Focus on things that are moving and reaching their goals. Of course, be a moral good person while you're making your choices. But in the end of the day, we have to stop the mourning and keep working and keep supporting communities that want to work. An artist dying should make way to even more artists. That should be the only goal in the end of the day. Allowing someone even like Technodad to profit if what he wanted is to adopt another person who also plays Minecraft, and this time he can take care of that person too. Who knows, right? There's so much more than just money. There's the human connection and ability to express yourself, ability to be seen for once, ability to escape poverty. I have to repeat that because poverty kills as well as cancer. Maybe even better at killing people. So all of a sudden, the most charitable person on this platform flips the script and says that charity is actually bad now. Who would have thought, huh? Larpers have hit something. They have hit a valuable treasure that has to be debated. Who gets the treasure? Simple as that. There has to be a time limit, and TechnoLarp is the time limit. He will eat the whole thing if it's not decided what TechnoDad wants to do with the treasure. Technically, we should not expect TechnoDads to give the green light. But hey, that's just a theory. A Shrek theory. Thanks for watching.